But first of all today on the big match, it's down to Craven Cottage. So picturesque there beside the Thames, but as you can see, the wind is blowing pretty fiercely there, a blustery wind, as we come into the home of Fulham Football Club. Such a good-looking stadium there for this second division game between Fulham and York City. But first of all, our duty is to look at the two teams for the game today. It's Fulham now forced to make their first enforced change of the season. John Cutbush has failed a test, and the number 2 shirt is taken by John Fraser, with John Mitchell named as the substitute. As for York City, they've also made one change at number 11, where Ian Butler, who's had some 300 games for Hull City, gets his chance. But now let's pinpoint one or two of the men to watch out for at Craven Cottage. Needless to say, one of them is Bobby Moore, now settled nicely into the Fulham back four. Fans on the south coast remember York's Mickey Kay for his days at Bournemouth. It's going to be difficult for goalkeepers on this particular day, like Peter Mellor of Fulham in this high wind. He's at one end. At the other end, of course, York City's Graham Crawford. And the referee today is Mr. Ken Baker from Rugby. And talking of the high wind, just look what it's doing now to one of our pieces of equipment that gets the pictures to you. And that one is high over the Hammersmith end of the ground. So Fulham kick off, attacking the goal to our right. Against York City on their first visit ever to Craven Cottage. York City wearing maroon shirts with the Y front in white. A team promoted from the 3rd division last season. Incredible the way the fortunes sway in football. That 5 years ago, for the 3rd successive season, they applied for re-election at the bottom of the 4th division. And here they are now, up in the 2nd division. In fact, they've only had one win so far this season. That was at home to Cardiff City, as opposed to Fulham, who've made their best start in 16 seasons. Their first defeat of the season coming last week at Millwall. Here's Bobby Moore. Mullery, played forward again for Barrett. Number 9, Viz Busby. Back for Mullery again. Slough. And Les Strong on the far side. Barry Lloyd. Really is a question of keeping the ball on the deck now in this swirling wind. Les Barrett again, finding a little bit of space. York have a good reputation for good, strong defence. They might well need it as Barrett gets a good cross in, but straight into the arms of Graham Crawford as Jimmy Conway went in. Good cross, though, by Les Barrett. Lyons trying to get Seal away. Can Seal shake off more? That was a good piece of play by him in there for Holmes. Lacey not quite sure where that ball was, but playing it back then to Mellor. Now it's with Mullery. Fraser. Mullery. Busby. And Barrett. Slough. Now, if Barrett can stretch his legs and get to that one, well, he was taken from behind. It has to be a free kick. Just when it looked as though Les Barrett was going to get away from the number 3, Peter Oliver. So Fulham on the move again now. Now there is a chance for Barrett to get this one over. A low cross this time. Did that cross the line? Fulham claimed that it did, but the linesman and referee together say that it didn't. Must say it looked very much to me as though that ball did go over the line, but they were better placed than I. Maybe we can look at that one a bit later on. But here's Fraser. On for Mullery again. And here for Barrett again, whose crosses have caused some trouble, but not that one as Butler turns it into touch. But Mr. Baker thought that it hadn't crossed the line. That's what's important. But here's Busby again, causing a problem there for York City. And Swallow had to get that one away. Beautiful diving header out of defence. Foul by Lacey, free kick to York City. Not taken from the right place, so they'll have to come back and take it again. And again not taken from the right place, so they'll have to come back again. Well, that was a very good header out of defence by Barry Swallow, but certainly these crosses from Les Barrett are causing York City 1 or 2 problems in defence. Here's Holmes to Lyons. Seal has made a good run down towards the right to take this one from Lyons. Turned in again. What a good run there by Holmes. It didn't quite come to him, but it's a goal! Scored by Chris Jones for York City. A very good goal indeed. Well taken by Jones after Fulham had had more of this opening quarter of an hour as the ball came in from the right. Jones was there and made absolutely sure. So York City then into the lead, and Fulham now facing the wind and facing a one-goal deficit. Fraser. That is indeed the first league goal that Fulham have conceded here this season. 7 goals scored in the 2 games so far, none conceded, with a 4-0 win against Cardiff, a 3-0 win against Notts County. So York City have already done what those 2 clubs failed to do. Strong. Never losing out to Chris Jones, who really took that goal well. Here's Slough. Conway. Barrett. Now, can he cause more trouble for them? Here's Barrett now, getting round his man, and that's another corner, that time off topping. And Barrett really giving that number 3, Peter Oliver from York City, quite an afternoon. Barry Lloyd will take the corner. And there are now 10 players from York City inside their own penalty area, and the remaining player is a matter of 2 yards outside him. Lacey getting up with a good header there, and Conway turned. Did that go in? Was it handball? Well, Fulham claims strenuously that there was a handball on the far side there, and certainly they're not having too much luck in that York City penalty area. Offside that time against Slough, with some strong claims there by the Fulham players. But there was a handball in that York City defence, and Slough being pushed away from the referee by Les Barrett, but it might be too late, and in fact Alan Slough is going to be booked for showing dissent. Well, certainly there was some feverish activity in that penalty area, and that's another thing we must look at later. So Slough is booked. Fulham are still a goal down, and we're coming up to the half-hour mark. Busby. Slough. Mullery. Conway. Now Moore. Slough played off nicely there for Mullery, hit beautifully but hit wide. Well, a lot of power in that shot, and from this angle it looked as though it was going closer than in the end it did. From Mullery. Slough. Played on for Conway, good piece of running by him. And turned in nicely by him for Busby. And again, Busby got round that defender. The crowd wondered whether that was a penalty, but the referee would have none of it. Referee claiming that Busby made maybe a little too much of it. Strong. Barrett again. Inside once again for Strong. Crossed by him, Busby with the header. Busby still there with the header, and the fist of Crawford is not away yet. And finally, it's only hoiked out there by Lyons, and Strong might get this back again for Fulham. Good piece of play by him. There's Lloyd trying to turn it on. Just a little too delicate there, though. And York City with a big boot can get it away. 4 minutes to go now to half-time. Fraser. And again. Played towards Conway, completely fooled by the wind there. And Chris Topping. Back to Graham Crawford. Swallow now for York City. Oh, and he's given that straight to Mullery, and now he's back. Now this could be a decisive break for Fulham right on half-time. Mullery getting the ball in there, but cleared by Mickey Cave as the whistle goes for half-time. And York City with one real attack to their credit, and one goal as well. as Alex Stock, the Fulham manager, goes off in the hope of repairing the damage during the half-time interval. So the only goal of the first half scored by Chris Jones for York City. A very good one indeed, after Fulham had had what they claimed was a ball over the line, what they claimed they should have had a penalty for a handball. But it all adds up to a half-time scoreline, which reads Fulham 0, York City 1, and we'll be right back with the second half in just a couple of minutes. And York City then get us away as we welcome you back at the start of the second half. Now attacking the goal to our right and facing the wind, and Fulham with their substitute John Mitchell on. Strong. Mallory couldn't quite get there before Cave, and Strong can turn it back. Strong was on up there. I think it's Barry Lloyd who's gone off. Yes, Barry Lloyd is off the field. So whether they've taken that tactical decision that they want another striker up front there, John Mitchell, who had about 7 months off with a pelvic injury, has been scoring well in the reserves there this season. And in fact scored in Italy, because Fulham have been in Italy this season in a 1-1 draw with Bologna last Monday. So it could well be that they've taken Barry Lloyd off, midfield player, to add just a little bit more pep up front, searching for these goals now against York City. There's Barrett with the cross. Well, Mitchell quickly making an impression there. It'll come now for the number 2, Fraser. Oh, Lacey right up there, missing his kick. And a free kick to York City with a foul by Barrett on Chris Jones. John Stone, there's Barry Swallow, but John Stone then with the kick. Over Bobby Moore's head, Lacey in behind him. Barrett nodded on beautifully there for Busby. Slough. Mallory linking up with the attack. Cross there for Busby. Now, can he turn on this one and hit it? No, he can't. He might get another chance, though. And it won't fall for Slough either, so Mallory must try again. The pattern of this second half in the opening minutes or so, very much the pattern of the first half as well. With Fulham coming forward all the time, but now the difference being that they've got the wind behind them. Busby with the backward header, Swallow getting it away. Barrett now there for Fulham. Taking it wide and doing very well. That's a good cross, but then straight into the arms of Crawford just before Mitchell could get there, the number 12. Well, that was a push by Bobby Moore on Jones, no question of that. And again, right in front of the referee. Here's Moore again. Strong. And Moore again. Playing it for Slough. Mullery trying to whip things up a little bit again in the middle of the field. Mitchell up ahead of him, Busby too, and played again to his Old England teammate Bobby Moore. Here's Conway, gone wide. Moore again. Oh, that'll come for Busby. Now Busby with a shot! Did all the difficult work. Caught it on the volley and caught it hard on the volley. But way off the mark with the shot. And still Fulham can't find the equaliser. Slough might be in a bit of trouble from Jones, but got out of it very well indeed, or rather strong. And now Moore. And now Barrett. Stone has gone back there with him. Well, they both missed that one, and John Stone has a chance now to get it away for York City, and does it very well to find Barry Lyons. Mallory in hard, and really had a go at there Strong for not backing him up there. Mallory trying to set the right example of urgency now in this Fulham midfield. Fraser for Fulham. Well, you really can't blame Fraser too much for that. There was nobody who was readily available for it. Lacey, and now Moore. Here we go now with the number 3, Les Strong. Well, that might come yet for Fulham. On the far side, Slough couldn't quite get on the end of it to turn it in. But there are moments when this York City defence, under a lot of pressure, are beginning to waver. And it's going to need all the experience of a man like Barry Swallow, I think, to keep them going now, as Fulham really throw everything at them. I would think in that bench there on the right there, Bill Taylor, the coach, in the middle, Ron Rulno, the physiotherapist, on the left, and Alex Stock, a little bit animated there, getting just a little bit anxious now. Barrett, Conway, and now for Moore again, planted forward this time for John Mitchell, the substitute. Swallow was very quickly on him again. Barrett available. Now can he get a good cross in, Barrett? There's the cross, it's a good one! It's not away yet. Punched away though by Crawford at the second attempt. Strong again. Barrett once again. This is where the trouble really is coming for York City, and Barrett couldn't get that corner at cross in. Some good crossing there by Les Barrett, not on that particular occasion there, but he's really curled some good ones in that always look very menacing. Slough. But look how the number 9's coming back there. It was a foul, but it shows the way that they are determined to play this game, York City. They're really fighting to hold on to this lead now, even if it means pulling back the number 9 and the number 10 into deep defensive positions, running hard and tackling hard as well. Just a little too hard there, so it's a free kick to Fulham, which Mullery will take again. One that I'm sure he will float towards big John Lacey, who's come up once more. Well, that said handball, said the crowd, just outside the box by Jimmy Seal. There was no more than a yard to spare, so it's another free kick. Mullery will take it. Lacey again, stayed up. Driven that time. Looking for the deflection. And it very nearly came to a deflection. Very nearly came to a goal there. Mullery very cleverly switching his tactics there. From the floated free kick, he hammered one in there, hoped for the deflection, which he got. But not for the goal that he so badly wanted. Now Jones again. Lyons, Holmes, Stone. In again for Ian Holmes. For York City, and that's a shot that wasn't so far away. So York, having defended so stoutly for so long, have suddenly got in with a couple of useful shots there. That one from Ian Holmes. Bobby Moore for Fulham. Slough, Mullery, Fraser, Lacey, everybody bar Mellor, and now Lacey, of course, in the Fulham half of the field, in the York City half of the field. Here's Strong, Moore, Jones, and now Holmes. Lyons, Stone's gone on ahead of him. That's out of play. Lacey for Fulham. Oh, that'll go straight to Cave. A little touch off and it's on for Jones. Seal is up ahead of him. Here's Mickey Cave again. A long shot stopped by Lacey. Oh, he's given away a second goal. Yes, scored again by Jones. What a disaster that for Fulham. Well, Lacey could have done almost anything with that, but Lacey in fact turned it back. And Bobby Moore in agony over that one. Lacey turned it back, and Jones went in for his second goal. Fulham 0, York City 2. So Chris Jones, who scored it, John Lacey, who allowed him to get it. Well, that really was a turn-up. And now Fulham have got so much to do. Slough turning it back in there again once more. Crawford for York. Tom Johnson with the pipe, the York City manager. On the left, Colin Meldrum. I'm sure all Watford supporters remember him, the coach there at York City. And of course, with Fulham pressing, there's always the chance for one of these quick York City breakouts. Jones on the far side. Oliver's gone up the wing there for him. Here's Seal. Holmes is in a lot of space here as well, and so too is Lyons. Inside again for Stone. Now for Mickey Cave. Played for Holmes. A free kick given to York, which Lyons will take. Again, Swallow right up in there. Holmes with the free kick, and a good one too, and it went right across the face of that Fulham goal once more. Crossed in again by Butler. Seal is there underneath it. Miller is in trouble and headed away finally by Slough, and it's not right away yet. Well, it could so easily have been 3-0, and that would have been even more improbable. Cave, Swallow, about 10 minutes to go now. Jones, played for Seal, played on for Jones again, he's offside. Well, he got it home, and it would have been a hat-trick, except that he was a yard offside, and I think he knew it. Barrett chasing Stone, but Stone knowing where it's safe. Busby, Barrett, Mullery, Strong, Alan Slough. Coming now. Strong to injury time at the end of the game now. So that I can't recall there being an injury. There's Mitchell with a good call for a good save too from Crawford. The first real bit of spark that Fulham have had, in fact, in the last quarter of an hour. Stone, must be the last seconds now of the game. Stone again forward. Jones off in pursuit, and Miller the catch. Bobby Moore. Cave trying to wriggle a way through again for Chris Jones. I don't know whether the referee's watch has stopped, because there's certainly no injury time. Whether he's adding a little bit of time on for time wasting. Caution, well, he didn't exactly caution. He spoke to one of the York players about it. Here's another back pass, and there's Jones almost gathering up his hat-trick again with a bad back pass, that time from Les Strong, almost letting him in. Referee Ken Baker again looking hard at his watch. I think this might well be the last kick. Busby up once more. Oliver chasing hard. Conway couldn't get it. And there goes the final whistle. And those two goals by the big York City number 10, Chris Jones. completing really what has been a perplexing afternoon for Fulham. How it is they can have more than 90% of the game and end up on the losing side by 2 goals nil. All credit to the way that York City defended and fought in the middle of the field. A bright start for Fulham that never really came to anything in the end. And we're left with this final scoreline then at Craven Cottage that reads Fulham 0, York City 2. I think I lost out to the loudspeaker there a bit as well, but Fulham weren't the only London side to go down yesterday, and it really is a bleak season so far for the capital. Indeed, only Crystal Palace, well done Big Mal, and Charlton Athletic were among the London clubs who won yesterday. But now let's look a little closer at Fulham with Alan Mullery, their skipper. That must have been a very disappointing result indeed for you yesterday after your fine start to the season, Alan.
It was, Brian, yeah. I've been very, very pleased with the side. I'm sure the supporters have, and the club, you know, over the early matches, the first part of the season. But we got beat at Millwall last week pretty badly. And yesterday, we thought we'd get back on the winning way again. But
it's hard to see where you did go wrong, because you had so much of the game, and at the end, nothing to show for it.
Basically, I suppose you put it down to inaccurate shooting, bad finishing, things like this, you know. I mean, in our earlier games where we scored goals, and yesterday we never scored goals, yet we had chances, you know.
And they defended well.
Very, very well. Give them their due. I mean, they came and they played. When they defended with 11 men, and when they played forward, everybody was attacking, you know. It was quite interesting for them.
In the first half, when you were probably at your best, there were 2 incidents, really, where you felt there might have been something coming your way. Once when the ball might have crossed the line as it came over. We look at this now, Alan.
It's a ball played down the line to Les Barrett, and he intends it for a cross actually, but smacks the ball very hard, and the goalkeeper, it's going in the near post, the goalkeeper gets down to it. I think the linesman was, he's over by the cottage, and he was a bit unsighted, I think, by the goalkeeper's body.
Don't think the whole of that ball has crossed the line, and I think you've got to give the benefit of the doubt there to the referee.
If we'd have had 3 hours, I'd have argued with you, but, you know, it's debatable, I must admit. Yeah. Yes, it was debatable.
But something that looks much more clear-cut is the penalty that you feel you should have had, the whole Fulham side thought they should have had, and the camera behind the goal also agrees with that. Let's have a look at that one.
The only one was the referee.
Yes,
we can't argue.
And they are very important. The fellow to watch out for is the number 2 there with his back to you.
Tune Conway gets up extremely well to head the ball. The goalkeeper makes a good save.
Now there, it looked as though he touched the ball, in fact completely changed the direction of it, number 2 John Stone, and if you missed it the first time, look at it again now. There's Jimmy Conway's header, pushed against the post by the goalkeeper, and as it comes out, the number 2...
knocks it up in the air.
He knocks it up in the air. And in fact, do you notice that he looked back at the referee to see what he did?
He did, actually. Everybody in that 6-yard box all turned to the referee, you know, and Alan Slough persisted so much in his argument against the penalty, he had his name taken.
Still, I mean, for dissent, you expect to get...
Oh, yes, yeah. But it's disappointing when, you know, practically everybody, television cameras, 7,000 or 8,000 people in the ground, and the only 2 people that didn't see it was the referee and linesman. You know, this is disappointing for the players, and consequently, this is when people will use dissent.
The York City goal, the first one.
It was it started off a bad pass from Bobby Moore, basically.
And there weren't many of those?
No, not really, no. The ball was played by Bob to Barry Lyons, who's the York right winger,
Number 7.
And he now goes along the line. You can see inside, Barry Lloyd ball watches a bit here. He should be marking the right half of York. He goes to take it on the outside of his foot and misses the ball completely, which sends myself and John Lacey going towards our own goal, and the inside left nips in and scores the goal.
But the real killer was this one in the second half.
Well, we were still in the game up until this stage, and then John Lacey plays a bad ball in the first place. It comes back to John Lacey, the guy hits a shot, and it comes back to John Lacey, who's now got plenty of time once he's controlled the ball.
Did you warn John Lacey?
I did, actually. I was shouting at John not to play it back to the keeper. He does a little dummy there, but then again he sends it back to the keeper.
See, you put your hands to your heads in the top of the picture there.
Yeah, we were a bit disappointed there. I think it's even worse now. In the picture here now, you can see us. We're very, very disappointed, very down and out. You know, I think it probably cost us the game, that goal.
You knew it was all up then.
Yeah.
Is it going to be difficult to lift Fulham now? I mean, do you see a bright season ahead in spite of the last couple
I can see a bright season as long as we don't play too often like we played yesterday. As I say, in the early part of the season when we were playing well, everything was going for us, whereas yesterday, the 1 or 2 little opportunities in the penalty decision and the ball nearly crossing the line, and probably we won't see as much on television this afternoon, 2 or 3 chances that went haywire. You know, if they have gone in, or if we'd have got the penalty, it's a different kettle of fish, but this is football, and we never scored, and they got 2 goals, and they did quite well, I thought.